Oh my God, I just totally got catfished. He looks absolutely nothing like his picture.
So I found out the guy that I've been dating is married with kids. His wife just reached out to me.
Welcome to the meat market. The single scene is a slaughterhouse, and we are here to devour it. We are your hosts. I'm Lindsay.
I'm Jess.
And today's sizzling single is Claudia. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So you had hired a private investigator on a guy that you went on a first date with, and you found some pretty disturbing stuff. Tell us.
So I would say it wasn't a first date.
Okay.
So he had been really honest, and he had disclosed some things to me, but I'm a mom of two and I can't afford to trip. So I'm like, I'm going to do my due diligence.
Good, smart.
Yeah. And everything he had told me checked out. So he was honest about it. But still, it didn't serve me, like the things that I discovered.
And so was the private investigator, because as women, right, we are all private investigators in our own rights, right? I feel like with a first name in a city, I can find out
anything,
a lot of information. Yeah, so did you do your own deep dive first and just were like hitting roadblocks, or what led you to feel like you needed to actually hire someone to do this work for you?
You know those like low hanging websites where it's like $5, $1?
Yes.
Like I did all of those.
Truefinder.com or whatever. Yes.
I did all of those. And the only really reason I did it was because I have kids.
Okay.
It's really the only reason. So had I not have children or been married or whatever, I honestly probably wouldn't have done it, just truthfully, which is so scary nowadays that people aren't doing their due diligence. But yes, I tried all the original low-hanging fruit websites. And then I found this company, and they're local here in Arizona, and they're retired cops. And we actually may potentially work together.
So question, you did the low-hanging fruit companies.
Yeah.
What made you go to
Keep
more experienced company? Did you find something little?
Yeah.
So it was just so long ago, the incident that took place, that you're not going to find it online.
Okay.
You know, and had he not been fully transparent, I probably would have stopped digging.
So he mentioned he had something.
Yeah.
What, like a felony
absolutely.
or a?
It was a felony.
It was a felony. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was just something I couldn't kind of move forward with.
Let go?
You know? Yeah.
What was it? Can you say?
No,
That's
fine.
Oh,
no,
so
I
juicy.
respect.
Okay.
I respect.
Okay.
And I'm really grateful. Honestly, he was a really key player in the development of like who I've become.
Aw, so everything happens for a reason. He served his purpose.
He is amazing. And actually, I was like, this isn't going to work, but like we still chat all the time.
Aww.
We're not like close and see each other too often, but you know, I just wish him the best.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary to me because they say there are many articles about if you are single and you have kids, when you post your profile online, you do not put any pictures of your kids. Do not say you have kids because apparently there are predators that go on these dating websites looking for the kids. And looking to access these women just to get to their kids. It's so disturbing to me.
Yeah, it's so gross.
Well, as a mom of two, they're like my first priority. And my life is already so like enriched by them that I'm like, listen, I can single life this and do a really good job at it, you know? So I'm like, but I would love someone complimentary to come into my life that is amazing for them and elevates it. If they're going to come in with this like third child syndrome, I would have just had another kid, you know?
Right.
So
true. I love how you made the comment that if you are to get married again, you want to check in monthly and be like, is this marriage still serving us? I love that. I think that's so important.
I would say monthly is like too frequent. I would probably go like every 5 years. And it has to be on vacation outside of this country, not like local, like we're going to go to Santa Barbara. No, like we're going to go on vacation and we're going to check
Maldives.
in. Exactly. Because like it's so hard to like invest that much and then have a terrible time. Like let's actually like have a moment and reassess. It doesn't have to be every 5 years, maybe every 10 years. But I think a nice check-in on vacation.
Do you think it needs to be more frequent earlier on as you're learning each other and sort of like
that
learning
makes
each
sense.
other's
That would really make sense.
styles? Like, because I could see that. I
Yeah.
could see like a yearly check-in or something like that within the first, 5 years. And then once you've made it that far, then you can start to
I actually
spread
really
them out
like
a
that
little
idea.
bit.
That's a really great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of just like dating unintentionally, willy-nilly, like, let's go to dinner, let's go to dinner. Like, it gets old, you know?
It does. It does. I want to go back really quick a second and talk about the private investigator.
Oh, yeah.
It's bringing me to this story, and I don't think I ever told you this, Lindsay. So the first guy that I dated seriously here in Arizona was back in like 2014, 2015. And years after I ended things with him, this was the guy who was the catfishing online. Remember?
The hashtag no complaints.
Yes, hashtag no complaints. I found out that he had all these fake dating profiles and social media profiles that he was pretending to be someone else. Okay, so
that's so scary.
Fast forward years later, I was back home in the Midwest and we were driving somewhere. We were like literally on the road in South Dakota in the middle of nowhere. And I was with both of my parents in the car, and my second guy that I have dated here in the past like 13 years. But I get a phone call, and it's a private investigator looking for my ex. Yeah.
What was he hired to find out?
I don't know. He couldn't. He wanted to see if I still was in contact with him, if I knew a current address, if I had an updated telephone. Now, I didn't have any information for him, and he unfortunately couldn't give me any information. But I remember being in the car and talking to my parents and my partner at the time, and I was like, "Oh my God, you guys will never guess! Like, it was a private investigator looking for my ex." They were like, "What the heck?" It was so crazy.
So do you think it was another woman that hired this private investigator?
I'm not sure. He told me, he said, "I was given your number by," and then it was a woman's name that he said. It was a woman's name. And I remember texting, we had one mutual friend with the same name, and I texted her and I was like, "Hey, for some reason, are you looking into, so-and-so?" And she was like, "No." And so I don't know. So I don't know who it was. I don't know what they were looking for. I don't know.
That poor woman. Run!
Yes. So I have no idea, but somebody was doing their due diligence on him.
You have to do your due diligence.
You have to, especially if you have kids.
Especially if you have kids. I think it's critical. It may come off like kind of a little too much, but I don't think you need to do that immediately. Like, first, like, actually see if you're interested to even look, because that requires time and energy and money. So it has to be worth it.
Yeah, for sure.
So they had said that during COVID, during lockdown, the divorce rate skyrocketed.
Yes.
You are a victim of that, or you are one of those statistics.
Totally.
So you got a COVID divorce. Tell us about that.
I did. I was divorced in 2020, and
was it the lockdown that kind of created the problems?
Actually, no. We both worked from home. Like, we were always home. Now, some of my girlfriends, on the other hand, their husbands were like coming home, and they were like, "Oh my God, they're not used to spending this much time together." So for him and I, we were always together. And I think like things just got kind of flat. And then the whole COVID pressures and having a young family and being a relatively young mom, you kind of just like go through these motions, and it kind of, you realize whether your person is really your person. But we co-parent, and he's an amazing dad. So I really don't have anything negative to say.
That's awesome. So you have an amicable relationship and good co-parenting.
Working on it.
You're lucky.
I mean, every day, just working on it.
So what are you looking to get married again? What are you looking for?
Great question. I'm not saying no to the idea of marriage. It just has to be like a really, like an organic fit, if that's going to happen. Like, this has been my best friend that I finally just met type of feeling, So I'm not saying no, but I am looking for just an amazing human who can stand in my corner. I think teaming, I have amazing parents, and their relationship, although sometimes they want to kill each other, which is totally normal, they are Bonnie and Clyde, they are like in it for the win. So thanks, Mom and Dad, for setting the bar so high. So now I'm like, who can match that? Like, naturally, right? So we'll see.
I feel like back in the olden days, when something was broken, you fix it. You take the time to figure out what's going wrong, and you fix it. Nowadays, I feel people just throw it away and go and buy the shiny new toy because there's so many options out there. They don't want to take the time to fix it. Don't you think?
Yeah, agreed.
There's like this back door this like emergency like door that you can just exit the relationship at any time. Regarding my marriage, I felt like I was willing to do the work. You know, I was married for 8 years, but we were together for 15. So we were together since I was 19.
Oh, wow.
So it's like one of those really sticky, cohesive relationships that are hard to break. But yeah, so I feel like what I'm looking for is just like an amazing human who can stand in my corner, preferably a dad. I've realized dating humans who are not fathers, not for me.
How old are your kids?
I have a soon-to-be 7-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Okay, so do you want someone that has kids that are a
100%.
similar age as your kids,
I get what
or
you're saying.
do you have a preference?
Like,
would you date a man with like a 2-year-old?
Oof. That's hard. I mean, I have, and they're amazing dads, but I find that I want to help them. And I need to like protect my energy because it's not my place.
The motherly instinct just sort of kicks in.
And it's that's like a hard dance, you know? And then I've also went on a few dates where I found that the guy was just looking for like his next built-in babysitter because he works so much. And that's also definitely not me. Not at all.
My ex was that way a little bit. He couldn't be alone with his kids ever. He had his kids, and it was like we were together for 4 years, and I don't think he ever spent one weekend just being alone with the kids. I think that's hard. It's hard.
It's hard for some.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. So yeah, definitely a dad. I think maybe high school to college would be really nice because then like I need to be inspired by someone. So I can only see that that person would have vision and experience. So I would hope that by having older kids, they'd be like, listen, Claudia, that's great what you're doing, but this is how I would do it. Like, I would love that redirection. Like,
or to be able to give you examples of how it went for
Totally.
them. Like, oh, when my kids were this age, this is how we navigated through this so that you can sort of take their
Feedback.
experiences and feedback and learn from it.
Yeah, I like that.
Are you on the dating apps?
Actually, as of recently, I have X'd out of all dating apps.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, except one.
Which one are you still on?
Hinge.
Hinge, right?
Yeah.
Has your experience been bad? How's that been?
I use this analogy a lot. Dating apps are like looking in a trash can that's caught on fire.
I love that.
It's like,
it's so true.
Where's the gem? Like, you know, no offense to anyone on dating apps. I'm on dating apps, but as of recently, I closed down all of them except Hinge. So we'll see. I'm good.
You made the comment that's so disturbing. You have gone on a bunch of dates where the guys refer to their exes as the C word.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy that they just
It's
throw
not
that word around.
It's so unclassy.
It's so unclassy.
And it so speaks to like a place of like who they are as a man, like within their masculinity, and that does not serve me.
And it makes you think, are they going to refer to you as that word if you don't work out?
Yes.
You know?
I mean, I don't think I could be with someone who doesn't just like have a great relationship with the mom of their kids, you know, like such an important role. So yeah, definitely not younger. I'm clearly, everything points to like the older generation.
So what are your hobbies? What do you do on your day off or your weekends?
So I am really focused on health and wellness. So within the past 2 years, I've been practicing meditation, like yin yoga style meditation. So I found it to be amazing and helpful in broadening my capacity to deal with life, but really I want to say shit. Just deal with shit. but life in general, you know, just had more capacity. It's almost like your plate goes from being really small to being really big. And now you can just deal with more and handle more. So that's been really nice. I'm hitting up the farmers markets and trying new recipes and yeah.
Do you cook? You like to cook?
I love hanging out with my friends and family. Family first, always. And yeah.
Is your family here in Arizona? Do you have,
Oh,
family
nice.
here. That's
yeah,
nice.
they originally bought property out here, and so I transferred for college to ASU.
Okay.
So what are your deal breakers in a man?
Great question. Another one. I would say, that's a good one. I would say so many are like flooding my mind right now that I'm trying to be like really selective with what I say. I'm like, I just saw like a Rolodex of, I'm just kidding. No, I would say, well, the relationship with the mom, I think is a mega deal breaker. Also, you have to be a morning person to like jive with my energy. I can't wake up at 6 and like go to the gym and I come back and like, you're still sleeping. Like I would die. I would die. So just someone that can keep up and like inspire me is what I'm looking for. But another deal breaker, yeah, you got to be active. That's a big one. Alcohol is a really big one too.
Do you drink at all?
Yep, socially.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So drinking too much would be a deal breaker?
Yeah, but there's a lot of functioning alcoholics out there.
Oh, for sure.
And it's like, I don't know that world. I've never seen addiction like in the eyes, so I don't really know. I did go out with this guy and I'm like, just like something's up. Like a month we dated. And I'm like looking at him and I'm like, is he autistic? No, he was an alcoholic. So like maybe I'm the special one because I'm like, oh, something's not wrong with him. No, something's wrong with him. So, but yeah, so I would just say alcohol intake is a big one.
And describe your perfect type.
Experienced, seasoned, someone who like calms my energy. Like there's people you can meet and you're just like, zzz, like
they're overstimulating.
too much. Yeah, no. Someone I can like, who can serve as my confidant. I think that's pretty big. And someone who's worldly is a must. Like worldly is important for me.
You seem very worldly, very educated. Where did you go to college?
You're kind. I went to Virginia Commonwealth and then I transferred to ASU.
You can tell you're very educated and you're
Very
got a
good.
smart head on your shoulders.
I think it's kind of screwed on a little too tight sometimes. I've noticed all my friends are Aries and they're all like, let's go salsa dance. Like, let's do this, let's do that. And I like need that push, you know, because I'm like very rigid naturally.
Do you have any unique facts about yourself that not many people know or crazy talents?
I wish. Crazy talents. I don't know.
Can you sing?
I mean, my voice isn't bad. But, I mean, I'm not. I mean, when I hear myself, no, I'm actually creative.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes I get like super inspired. I'll paint.
Oh.
I like to do a lot of arts and crafts projects with the kids. Not scared of like getting dirty with them. But recently I purchased a home and I gutted it to the studs and I just created my space. And it was like so therapeutic. How I can turn that passion into like more of a career would be amazing. But it's really more so of a passion. I think it belongs there.
Do you travel with your kids?
I do.
Do you?
Yeah. Not as much as I want to though.
Yeah. How do you find that? Is it easy? Are they easy to travel with?
They're
to enjoy
amazing.
It? Yeah.
They're amazing. My son, really cute. He'll like run up to the luggage belt and he'll be like, I got this, Mom.
Oh, what a gentleman. You raised him well.
He's so machismo. I know. And I'm like, no, you don't. I got this. But I think that has to play into the fact that like there's no male figure in my house. So
he's
trying to step up.
Yeah,
Aw,
he's
that's so
picking up
sweet.
that
it could
slack.
go both ways. Just know, like that's the cute factor. And then all of a sudden, like you have a guy friend over who's like truly a guy friend, and he's like, Mom, yeah, no, he can't come here. I'm like, what? I like that. I mean, are you paying the mortgage? What's
I'm
happening
sorry,
here?
man of the house.
Yeah,
like, who do you think
exactly.
you are?
So I think like the sooner I meet someone, I mean, it's been 5 years I've been divorced. So I think like the sooner I meet someone, as far as like, it's like such a great time to introduce someone to my kids. I mean, I think they're like ready to like embrace that without it feeling like a replacement. It's really more like a bonus role.
Do you have any crazy date stories or terrible date stories you can think of?
I know one of your former guests had like really good stories. I don't know if mine are gonna match. I mean, not super crazy. Yeah, no, not super crazy. But I mean, the alcohol thing can get really sloppy real fast. You know, so it's just not for me. I don't know.
Not your cup of tea.
It's not. No, I'd rather have tea actually.
Right?
Yeah,
Rather have
right.
a cup of tea.
I remember I went on a date once and the guy came and he was so hungover that we could, and so it wasn't that he drank too much on the date, but he was so hungover. And part of me was like, that's not attractive either. Like, why didn't you just cancel? We could have done this at another time. You know what I mean? And so then it was like, we didn't see each other again after that. But it was just like, if you're not going to come bringing your best self to a date, why even go on a date?
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
Are you ready for it?
I'm ready for it. The Keep More Minute, brought to you by Tactical Tax Strategies. They keep more in your wallet. We keep more in your relationship. So we have a listener question.
Okay.
I recently started dating someone who seemed perfect, kind, funny, and great company. But when we went out to eat, I saw his true form. He snapped at the waiter for bringing him the wrong type of water. He waved his empty glass in the air like he was summoning a butler. And when the food arrived, he dramatically sighed and muttered, "I guess this will do." I was so embarrassed, I left an extra tip and mouthed, "I'm sorry," to our server. Is this a deal breaker, or can I train him not to act like he's a medieval king demanding his feast? This, for me personally, is a deal breaker.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Deal breaker, 100%. Would never, ever, ever go on a second date. I wouldn't even try to communicate and change him.
Yeah.
No, not worth the effort. Because he's either just so impressed by her that he needs to be this person. So it could be a compliment to her, actually, that he's not enough and he has to act extra. Or I think it's a weakness in his masculinity and bad manners.
Person.
Maybe a shitty mom. You have a shitty mom, dude.
Right?
You know?
I was raised to treat,
Who raised you?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I was raised to treat everyone the same and with the same amount of respect. Whether you're a CEO or a janitor or a server, like we're all human beings at the end of the day, and we all deserve to be treated kindly, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've been on so many dates where they treat the wait staff like absolute crap, and I used to be a server, and I know how that feels. So I will absolutely never go on a second date. I won't even have a conversation. Done.
Run. Save your energy.
I've never had it happen to me in
Really?
real life.
You're lucky.
Yeah, I've never had it happen to me in real life, but I wouldn't. There's no way I'd go on another date.
No.
If
It just
ever did.
shows who they are as a person, I feel.
Yeah,
And
like core rudimentary like problems.
exactly. And if you can treat other people like that, I feel like you're just not a good, kind person.
Also, like birds of a feather. So if she flocks with him, she's the same. And then she can't say anything.
Exactly.
So
And then you're setting yourself up to always be like that couple who comes into the restaurant who nobody wants to wait on.
Yeah, no.
Like, is that who you want to be?
Right?
You
And how
know?
exhausting to have to constantly apologize to the service staff and have to sneak them tips and have to, defend him and just ain't nobody got time for that.
no, definitely not.
So I want to talk about the video that Kylie Kelsey, I love Kylie Kelsey. Do you listen to her podcast or see her social clips?
I see her sometimes.
She's amazing.
Sometimes.
I like her. She's cute.
It's funny because after I posted that rant on Meghan Markle, I got so many people commenting, "You're such a woman hater. You just hate women." But I freaking love women. I love Kylie Kelsey. I love Scarlett Johansson. The list goes on.
me too.
Angelina Jolie, Jennifer
For sure.
Aniston. Some people irk me, just Meghan Markle and Blake Lively. That's it. Those are the only women I have spoken negatively about. But Kylie Kelsey, I love Kylie Kelsey. And she did this video ranting about the crazy things that people take in their hospital bag when they go to give birth. So what do you take? What did you take when you gave birth?
God, that was a long time ago. I wouldn't say anything kind of crazy, but should there have been a bottle of Vouv? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so nothing kind of crazy. I was just ready to in and out. It was like a nail appointment. Like, I get these kids out. Let's keep going.
That's exactly how I was. I think I had a toothbrush, a change of clothes to leave in, and I think that's it. But so people bring, number one, a tripod for a camera. Like,
To document, I guess.
but I feel like nowadays people are so concerned with filming everything that they don't enjoy the moment.
Right? I don't think I'd want that moment.
I don't.
I don't either. And she was saying that
know.
it's like a trip hazard for the nurses and doctors. Like, do you really want the people that are supposed to keep you alive and save you and the baby tripping? And do you want to
Over
create
your
that kind
camera,
of hazard?
Imagine.
Oh my
People
God,
are way too public these days. There's like so much beauty in like privacy.
Yeah. And like that moment should really be between the partner, like your partner and yourself and your baby. And why do we need to put everything out there?
I know.
You know,
I actually, on the birth of my daughter, Sloan, we had no guests at the hospital, and it was really nice because your body's going through all these transformations. I mean, people are more so focused nowadays on like what everything looks like and what people are going to think of like their captured moment on social media versus actually enjoying it, like you said.
Agreed.
You know?
I actually lost a friend because I wouldn't allow her to be in the delivery room with me.
What?
And she was so offended, and I'm not friends with her to this day because of it. But luckily for her, because they induced me, and I was there for like 3 days. I had to do a C-section.
I need to know who this is. Do I know this person?
I don't know if you know this person. But again, I lost friends because of my wedding. I lost friends when I gave birth.
know.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the common thread.
Actually, it's probably like the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
They're
fine.
just like, it's the
packaged
trash. I
differently.
always say this, it's the trash taking itself out. Like,
It really is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the second thing is your entire makeup kit. Like, I don't get why people
no.
do their makeup after they've given birth, like their whole full face of makeup.
I mean, I do, because women, you know, it's like you said, like you've gone through so many changes and you want to feel beautiful. And for a lot of women, that means makeup.
And if you're doing it for yourself to feel normal again, that's fine. I'm all for that. But a lot of the articles state that women do it because they want the first impression that the baby has of them. That's why they do it.
But they
Because
can't
it's
even
the first
see.
time the
I know.
baby's seeing you.
Baby can't even see.
First of all,
like there's a reason why certain body parts get darker and bigger.
Yeah,
you know?
but they say babies can only see 12 inches from their face, so they're not going to see you. Are they going to remember? No. And you're their mother. You made them. They're going to love you no matter what you
Abstract,
look like.
They see like a black and white
They see like
abstract
a
forms
blob.
versus blobs. Yeah,
They'll see these
exactly. The
long
vision
black
doesn't
eyelashes.
develop.
That's all they see.
For me, I would say like skincare was like mandatory.
I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see the skincare routine
Yeah.
over the makeup
Totally.
routine for sure.
When I go to give birth, the last thing I'm thinking of is hair and makeup and what I look like. I'm thinking about having a healthy baby coming out alive, my baby coming out alive,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And were there any like rips and tears or like,
my
but they
shit-
back together.
exactly?
That's so funny.
So then the third one is curling iron and straighteners.
It's all beauty products.
I can't imagine you've given birth. It's so painful, and then
I
to be
know.
standing there like concerned about your hair. It
Honestly,
makes me sad that
at
women.
that point, why would you like get your hair done before you? Like that's what I did because I knew I wasn't gonna shower for a few days. You know, I'm
Right.
like I'm like healing. It's like going on this journey. So it's like get a blowout.
It's funny. We were talking about this with my grandmother, and it's like if I learned one thing from my grandmother, it was always like if you have an event coming up, make sure you have your appointment scheduled for your hair and your nails beforehand.
So true.
Like
So
just
true.
take care of it before you go.
But it's also like a sign of like respect too. Like when you take care of yourself, even for a date, when you take care of yourself and you show up as your best self. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not like a complete fake version of yourself, but like you're well maintained. And you know, like when you go on a date with a guy and he like didn't trim his ears, like, you know,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
good. We're good.
And you know, again, if you're doing it for yourself to feel normal again, then
Yeah.
great. But if you're doing it for anyone else, I don't
yeah.
understand that. I mean, I think for me, I like did my hair down there to make it a pleasant experience for the doctors and nurses, but I didn't care about my hair up there. Nobody got time for that.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That's so funny.
So the last thing is a huge suitcase, like a large check-in size suitcase to the hospital. Like, what do you have in there?
Of clothes?
I don't know what, but she says a lot of people take these really big, gigantic check-in size suitcases. I guess hair and makeup and curling irons.
I mean, yeah. Then
Again, I had my purse. I
Cabo.
just had my purse. I think I had toothbrush, change of clothes. That was it. Anyhow.
Jeez, yeah, I had nothing.
I'd need snacks, like, because hospital food, like, I'm sorry, but like, forget the hair and the makeup and the beauty products, but like, I'm gonna need snacks.
Yeah.
I know. For me, it was like I think I crave sushi. I was like,
Oh,
bring me
yes.
sushi.
Well, because
Like,
you
I want
can't
a
eat
whole
because
boat.
you can't eat sushi.
I know.
That was always my sister's first meal too.
Yeah,
Was like I
sushi.
can't wait to go for sushi.
I know. Good sushi.
I have a question. Do people in Japan eat sushi when they're pregnant?
Yes.
So why is it here?
Because it's like, think about it. Like for civilizations that are raised on the water, right? They're eating fish when they're pregnant. And actually, when I was pregnant, I traveled to Croatia, and all the Croatians would come up to me and serve me like sardines and smoked trout and smoked fish, because all along the Dalmata coast, right? They're all eating fish. So, like, why in the U.S. can women not eat fish when they're pregnant?
It's just raw fish, though, right?
Yeah.
So because it was smoked and preserved,
maybe
that was probably
maybe
okay.
But they say it's great for brain development. Like, it's
the omega-3s and
it's like
stuff,
critical for.
But I feel like the list when you're pregnant of things you can't eat is pretty long here. It's like melon and I don't know, certain types of deli meats. And
You're pushing me into like a favorite conversation of mine, which is like how unhealthy American food is. So that's a rabbit hole for me. It sucks.
All the preservatives.
I mean, the ingredients are like banned here.
it makes my blood boil.
Yeah, they're like banned in Dubai,
Europe,
but you can like eat them here. Like,
And it cracks me up how they can ban TikTok here, but they can't ban the ingredients that has been proven to cause cancer and make people sick.
Right.
Like, what's going on here?
I know.
Anywho, time for the celebrity cut where we marinate in the juices of the celebrity. I want to talk about something that's kind of disturbing to me. Did you read about that story of the OnlyFans model in Dubai? Did you guys hear about that?
I feel like I heard
I heard something. Yeah.
So there was an
briefly.
only beautiful, I think she was
Russian?
20. She was from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And she was in Dubai to go to this party and was going to meet her family in Thailand a couple of days later. She never showed up to Thailand. So they filed a missing persons report. She was found on the side of the road with all her limbs broken, a broken spine, but she was alive.
Okay.
She went through 4 life-saving surgeries, but she can't talk at this point. But she went to this, have you heard of these porta potty parties? What? It's so disturbing. They're these parties that these extremely rich men put on. I don't know if it's just in Dubai. This one was in Dubai. I don't know if it's a nationwide, worldwide thing. These porta potty parties are where they invite these women and pay them obscene amounts of money for them to just treat them like crap, no pun intended. They poop on them. They make these women eat their poop. They tie them up. They just treat them like animals, worse than animals. They just dehumanize them. It's so disturbing to me. Anyway, she went to one of those parties and then this is how she was found. And the police are saying, she fell from a construction site. She was in a construction site that she wasn't supposed to be and she fell. But the parents are like, nope, this is a cover up because there are so many high powered people involved. This is not what happened. She did not go into the construction site, but no one knows what happened and she can't talk. So until she's able to talk, we won't know what happened.
Oh my God. And is she even going to have a memory of what happened? Because is it like a Diddy freak off situation where the baby oil is laced with drugs? You know what I mean? Like who knows what they gave her?
And people are saying they're scared for her safety. Is someone going to go in and, pay off the nurse or something to slip her something so she doesn't, come out alive? It's so scary to me.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's really scary. I don't know.
And it's so sad that women, maybe she didn't know what she was getting into when she was invited to the party, but just heartbreaking.
Well, and she was being paid to be there, obviously.
She was.
And so it's like, even if she didn't realize what she was getting into at some point, whether she knew or not what she was getting into, it was worth it to her to go for the money at some point. But like, that's crazy.
And I just don't understand how people can treat people like that, can put people through that. How can you be okay with that and sleep at night,
well,
doing
you know
that to
what?
humans?
Like, you have to think about these people. They're like so high caliber, high functioning, weirdo billionaire geniuses that like nothing entertains them. And if you take it back, like generationally, like even to like the Turkish Ottoman Empire, like there was weird shit happening then too with like women and men treating them a certain way. So it's like, I think it's just like tragically it's intertwined with like who humans are to themselves, especially culturally. But I'm just like, it just makes, I honestly got goosebumps when you were telling me. I was like over here like, it's so disgusting, but it's always going to happen. And women are putting themselves in these situations. And then we always look at the men and we're like, how can you do that? But like, you allowed it.
And that's the thing is like, she accepted the invitation to go. And it's just like, you're putting yourself at risk.
But I wonder what they told her.
I wonder what they told her too. I wonder how it was communicated to her, what exactly she was being paid to do. If she had,
how old is she again?
I think she's 20.
What, like, so young. What is she doing in Dubai?
I think she was being
flown
paid out there to go to that party.
Yeah. Just exclusively.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I have some friends I have some friends that subscribe to OnlyFans as a couple. They have girls that they,
Sure.
you know, have these subscriptions to. And she was showing me a few weeks ago their account and some of these videos that these women send them. And it's wild. Like they ask, and it's funny because her husband has a pet name that he likes them to call him. And then they have a pet name for her that they call her. And it's so funny because, you know, these women on these platforms will literally do whatever their paying customer is asking them to do. And like, they're on the very low end of it in terms of like, you know, the wildness of it.
Sure.
All they want is, you know, for the girls to talk to them and to call them by their pet names and to maybe, you know, whatever, like play with themselves a little bit in front of the camera or whatever. It's like a $75 video or $100 video. It's it's, you know, it's fairly normal, like in terms of like the kink spectrum, right? But it's like these girls, you know, and women, whatever, like, you know, for the money, to think of the lengths that they're willing to go to make money. It's crazy.
It's sad.
So
it's
a
very
little bit,
sad. But it's also like, if everything wasn't so expensive,
I
like,
know,
would
right?
they ever feel like so if there was ever a time, right now we're like at max everything. It's
true.
So life is breathing is expensive. So I'm like, geez, I mean, sad.
So I want to end this
really
on a good note. Did you hear that love story? There was this woman from California living in London, and the California fires happened, and that's where she was from, that area. Her whole town was burned down. So she was super upset and depressed. So she rented a cottage in the English countryside, and the Airbnb owner said, you know, there's no way, it's pretty far from the train station. There's no way to get to the property from the train station. Is it okay if my son picks you up and drives you to the property?
Oh, I heard this
Did
story.
you hear?
Uh-huh.
And so she's like, sure. So the son picked her up. They're about the same age. They're chatting. And he's like, you know, there's no grocery store within walking distance. It's quite late. Would you let me take you out to dinner? They went out to dinner and they're dating to this day.
Yes,
No
I heard that
way.
story. Yeah.
But they should make a movie out of that.
That should be a movie.
And because she stayed, didn't she? She ended up staying
Well,
for
she
a
rented
while
the
longer,
cottage.
extended
Did she?
her trip or something
Maybe.
like that to be with him. I can't remember what it was exactly.
It
but
makes you think about
it's
like
cute.
where those two people were in the timing of their lives for that to just like be a thing, like just to connect on such a level where she's like, oh, I'm not even going to go home. Like, what?
Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good for her.
So what is your favorite place to go to on a first date?
You know, a basic restaurant. It doesn't have to be crazy. I mean,
Do you have a favorite restaurant in town?
I love Pomo. Pomo
I've
is
never been there.
Yeah, Pomo is a really great spot. I live in Scottsdale, so just somewhere local. And I think it's like, you know how you said like what's a deal breaker? One of my deal breakers is also people that like also don't drink. So like they're very straight edge because you're always going to be like one drink away from like blowing up your whole life. You know what I mean? So like that's like a ticking time bomb type of person to me personally. Although I do respect sobriety. But like recently I've just been noticing like where you go on a date is so important, and what they choose to eat is so telling too.
Really?
Super telling.
That is true.
Yeah.
Do you like a man who orders for you?
I like if they ask.
If they ask what you're thinking
Absolutely,
about
for sure.
eating and then do the order.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like 2 humans that I'm like fully 100% responsible for, and I manage their life and I make decisions for, plus myself and then my business and my company. And I'm like, I would love for someone to please order for me. Like a moment of not thinking would be amazing.
So has a guy ever ordered something that you judged him for ordering?
No, I think the last thing someone ordered me was like a Zinc Bistro martini. I hadn't tried it before because I'm like a dirty martini kind of gal. And I was like very impressed. I was like, it actually is very telling of like what they're thinking of you.
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
It shows kind of what they think that your tastes are going to be.
Totally.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll like throw them for like a trip. Like Buck and Ryder's a good spot too.
I love Buck and Ryder.
Buck and Ryder's a good one. And earlier on in the day, like why do we have to like, you know,
I agree
Be
with
so
that.
late. I do too. I like earlier in
I'm
the
like,
day
let's
dates.
do earlier.
Yeah.
So I have like time to like feel it out.
Yeah.
You know?
And if I was dating with kids, like you go to bed early when you have kids, right? Yeah. So you don't want to be out till like 10, 11 o'clock.
I don't have kids and I go to bed early. Thank you very much. Like I'm on Do Not Disturb by like 8 p.m.
You are. I'll text you like 8:31. It says Do Not Disturb.
Oh, nice. I need to learn how to turn that setting on.
It's a lifesaver.
You learned?
I just discovered it. It was so funny because I'm fairly good at setting my phone to the side and not picking it up, just like doing the Do Not Disturb thing myself. And it was when we started this podcast that I actually discovered it, because I wanted to like screen grab something or something and I didn't want notifications. So I turned on Do Not Disturb and I forgot to turn it off.
And you're like, my life is great.
It was. So then like 3 hours later, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still on Do Not Disturb. Hold on a second. And I flipped it back off and like all these notifications popped up. And I was like, this is great. I was like, I literally went 3 hours and I was not disturbed. Not once.
Isn't that
something finally works nowadays.
It's crazy. Like just there's so many distractions.
There's so many distractions, and sometimes you don't realize it, even though I am good at setting my phone aside and not looking at it.
Me too.
It is still like the watch is pinging and the AirPods are telling you who's texting. And it's like, even though you can sort of put it on mute in your brain and you can turn it off, it is still distracting. And so it's nice. I would recommend using the Do Not Disturb function on your phone.
I need to learn those setting functionality and set it up. I know.
So speaking of dirty martinis, it's now time for the dirtiest segment of the show, the meat grab. You down for the challenge, up for the grab? Willing to share? Pick one if you dare.
All right.
Some are innocent, some are not so innocent. Gotta say that line every time.
Oh, I like this. Wait, which one am I reading? The one that's taped on there?
Yeah, the one that's taped over.
Okay. What is the most attractive quality to you? I think the most attractive quality in a man? Okay. In general. I was like, general.
I was like, are you attracted to women?
No,
also?
no.
Do we need to rephrase this
because
question?
it says, what is the most attractive quality to you? So I'm
see.
like, to me. Okay. Anyway, just overanalyze it. I would say how large you live your life. Like a lot of men can be like really small-minded and like not see past the next month, or like have a dream about what it is they want to do or achieve, or like what their retirement looks like. Like, are you on a farm? Are you by the beach? But I think like, so vision. Yeah, I would say vision. Yeah.
I like that.
That's the most attractive, because it's like, I have to see it. Yeah.
Great. Well, that's a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us this week at the Meat Market. And thank you so much, Claudia. If you want to take Claudia on a date, go to themeatmarketpodcast.com or any of our social media platforms at Meat Market Podcast. And thank you so much to our sponsor, Tactical Tax Strategies. If you want to save your money this tax season and keep more wealth in your wallet, you need to go to Tactical Tax Strategies. Thanks so much, and see you next week at the Meat Market. Oh my God, I just totally got catfished. He looks absolutely nothing like his picture.
So I found out the guy that I've been dating is married with kids. His wife just reached out to me.